What do you call an astronaut in space without a spacesuit? A dead man. In the movies, when a human without a spacesuit is thrown out into space, there's no doubt that something gory is about to take place. A close-up shot of a face, literally frozen in horror, shows up on the screen. Funny enough, that is not how it goes in reality. If you do get thrown out into the big dark space, you will notice a lack of air first, while panicking. Don't even try to hold your breath, as this might kill you faster than breathing out. Within the Earth's orbit, temperatures go down as low as -250 degrees Fahrenheit. Temperatures can also go up to 250 degrees Fahrenheit in the sunlight. Humans do not thrive well in such extreme temperatures, and that is one of the many reasons a spacesuit is important. The lack of oxygen in the vacuum of space is another reason why humans have no chance of surviving in space without their mini spacecraft. It takes about 15 seconds for the average human to lose consciousness due to the lack of air. Space is a vacuum, and there is no oxygen close by to survive on. Holding your breath and trying to hold on to the air inside of you will make your lungs pop. But if you do breathe out, you can survive in space for 2 minutes without permanent damage. What causes your lungs to rupture is the loss of external pressure, leading to the expansion of gas in your lungs. After they explode, it will cause a release of air into your circulatory system. So, the logical thing to do will be to let go of the air in your lungs. If you are lucky and get pulled back to safety, you certainly will not be the same size as the time you left. After 10 seconds of exposure in space, the water in your body will start to vaporize because of the lack of atmospheric pressure. Your skin will literally be the only thing keeping you from bursting. There's more good news. Your body will return back to normal if you are brought back to a place with atmospheric pressure. The other thing you need to worry about is unfiltered cosmic radiation. If you think it does not sound good, that is because it gives very bad sunburn, and yes, your body will still freeze despite you having the worst case of sunburn. Death will eventually come, and your body will either become mummified if you are near a heat source, or it will just freeze if you are floating around in cold space. The lack of air in the space will preserve your body from decomposition, meaning you'll be drifting in space for millions of years amongst its debris. Spacesuits are a lot more than fancy uniforms that astronauts wear in space. They are vital to survive in the extreme conditions of space. A spacesuit is made up of different parts, with each part performing certain essential functions. An astronaut's chest is covered by the hard upper torso. The head is protected by the helmet, and the extravehicular visor assembly lets you see as much as possible. The legs are covered by the lower torso assembly. The spacesuit is made up of several layers of material. Within these layers, there are various parts working to keep the astronaut alive and mobile. Every part of a spacesuit has tubes woven through it except for the head, hands, and feet. These tubes run through a liquid cooling and ventilation garment, which is basically a tight-fitting piece of clothing covering the entire body except the head, hand, and feet. These tubes have water running through them, which keeps astronauts cool while they walk in space. Spacesuits come with a backpack. Who needs a backpack in space? Well, astronauts do. The backpack houses a primary life support subsystem. The primary life support system contains the essential oxygen that you have to breathe in while in space. Oxygen is moved around the suit by an inbuilt fan. It sounds like spacesuits come with all the perks. It all takes out the carbohydrates you breathe out. The backpacks are not the only thing that attach to the back of the suit. Did you know that you can fly back to your space station if you get separated from it using the small thruster jets at the back of your spacesuits? These thrusters are contained in a device called the Simplified Aid for Extravehicular Activity Rescue, or SAFER for short. NASA, I see what you did there. Astronauts get thirsty like every other human and need to rehydrate. It would be impossible to do so without a spacesuit as water. The in-suit drink bag, IDB, houses much-needed water for astronauts who stay out in space for hours. The in-suit drink bag can hold about 1.9 liters of fluid. All you will need to do to drink water in space is to move your head within the helmet and suck water through the IDB tube. In essence, the spacesuits protect astronauts from space debris. A lot of matter is floating through space, and with just the right amount of speed, a small piece of space matter could cause injury to spacewalkers. Think of a spacesuit as a mini spacecraft for humans. It protects them as they move through space while housing the essential provisions they need and also from becoming space debris. I hope you learned something new today. If you still have some questions left, let us know in the comment section below.